Major metal processing methods include cold rolling, cold heading, hot heading. Let's look at the pros and cons of each of these processes. In metal processing and forming. Usually, the steel billet is heated and softened, which makes metal processing easier and improves the mechanical properties of parts. There are also processes that process metal directly at room temperature. Let's take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of hot rolling, hot upsetting and cold upsetting processes. What is hot rolling? Steel is difficult to deform at room temperature and will also become difficult to process. After heating the billet and softening it, impurities will be easier to remove. This process is called hot rolling. The hot rolling process has many advantages. First of all, high temperature will soften the steel. Impurities can easily destroy the original organization, make the internal structure more compact and strong, and its mechanical properties are enhanced. In addition, the defects inside the steel, such as bubbles, cracks, and looseness, can also be welded under high temperature and pressure. But hot rolling also has disadvantages. Hot rolling will press the originally concentrated impurities into thin sheets, which will not fuse with the steel but will appear stratification. Cracks will appear for a long time, which will affect the strength of the metal. During the cooling process of the impurities, due to the uneven cooling of the inner and outer layers, deformation, fatigue resistance, poor strength and other defects will occur during use. What is cold rolling? Generally, it is a process of applying pressure to the steel billet at room temperature to extrude it into the required thickness. It cannot be understood here that hot rolling is heating and cold rolling is not heating. Depending on the material, cold rolling will also be heated. The difference from hot rolling is that processing below the crystallization temperature is cold rolling, and processing above the crystallization temperature is hot rolling. Cold rolling has the advantages of fast forming speed, high output and no damage to the coating. It can be made into a variety of cross-sectional forms to meet the needs of the use conditions, and can also produce large plastic deformation just now. However, there are also disadvantages such as residual stress inside, which affects the overall and local strength of the steel, thin forming thickness, and weak bearing capacity. Cold heading. Cold heading, also known as cold forming, is a process that forms a specific shape of metal in a mold by applying impact force without heating. Cold heading has many advantages. For example, during the processing, since the batch material is piled into the mold as a whole, the process will hardly produce any extra waste and can also achieve automated production. In addition, since there is no need for heating, the energy consumption is low. In addition, cold processing does not require a cooling process, and the production speed is fast, which can reduce production costs. However, the cold processing of some workpieces cannot be completed in one go, and often has to be completed by extrusion in different molds in sequence, that is, it takes several times to get the desired product. In addition, the hardness of the material used for cold heading cannot be too high. Setting. Hot upsetting refers to the process of first heating and softening the material during metal processing, and then relying on impact force to make it plastically deformed. Hot upsetting can better change the internal structure and performance of metal materials and improve strength and plasticity. In addition, heat can also reduce the difficulty of the process and improve production efficiency. Hot upsetting plays an irreplaceable role in the manufacturing of large parts, deformation before and after heat treatment, etc. However, hot upsetting requires a lot of heating equipment and energy, and the production cost is much higher than cold upsetting. Have you seen the above 4 processes?